All right, time for spoilers for everything. Let's assume you've watched everything up until now.
It's so large.
It's so large. Anyway, bye.
Oh God.
What's your name?
Hot Pocket.
Enter. Enter. How do I? Oh shit. Enter. There we go. I'm like, how do I insert the name?
Whoa, weird.
That was the sound of us beating the shit out of it. Oh, that was the sound of us knocking something over accidentally for a second, and that's when he notices we're awake.
We're
Oh fuck!
Oh no! Sad face.
Rapid fire. I was about to say flashing light warning, but I don't think any of this counts as flashing lights. It's just flashing sprites. All right, what do you think death is? We said the optimistic thing, but time to say the pessimistic thing.
Cool.
I very nearly got a bad or a less good ending on my first attempt on it because I have different opinions about some of the things. But I think we picked every single exact option that gives you the ending we got.
Oh, cool.
Because there's a series of abstract choices you make in your dreams, and those give you points. And if you get X number of points, then you get one ending, and if you get less points, then you get a different ending.
Alex twitching around.
But there are also some significant choices. But yeah, we do just need to run through the entire game, which is admittedly a fast thing. We're already at the fun beach party. Remember this?
One of our only nice times together.
When in Rome. This is the only choice that does not affect. This is one of the only choices that does not affect the plot. It just affects the scene.
Because everyone should be allowed to see the dick.
Yeah. I find it very interesting that it's the first comprehensible choice you make in the entire game is whether or not to look at Amicus's dick. Now Neferu's here. We're in caveman mode right now. Now we're doing the dance. We're dance practice, but he didn't kiss me. We hope that doesn't backfire in 10 minutes.
Ooh,
counter.
Smack.
You can say talk to him more or reject him. This is also one of the only choices that doesn't affect anything necessarily. He sleeps with Neferu no matter what, but it changes how you treat Neferu, or how you think about Neferu or interact with him in a scene later that it will be hard to find, because here's a problem with me doing a let's play of this right now. I already played the game, and I'm replaying the game. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, the game remembers the fact that I've played it before, so the skip feature doesn't actually stop on lines that I haven't seen before, because I've seen all of them.
Oh, yes.
So I will not be showing this change because I don't know how to find it quickly. So I'm just gonna not. But there's a slight difference in in how you treat Neferu in a small scene, but it does not affect whether or not they sleep with each other. Is Amicus gonna be a good leader? And we say no.
Because I said yes. I mean, honestly, if I really just knew Amicus in real life, I don't know if I would say yes to that.
Even when I said yes originally, it was tinged with this optimism,
it was
or
oh, he's good intentioned.
It has this very specific,
he's got heart.
Very specific nuanced feeling of I said yes because of the fact that the outcome of yes, the outcome of yes being true is
what you want,
better than thinking about the outcome of no being true.
Yeah.
So you aspirationally say yes, which is also the exact emotion that the ending of the game uses against you. So I've got feelings. Wow, he's emperor, but is he emperor?
Oh, we ate really fast.
Yeah. Actually, I was slightly startled by how much further we got in the game while I was saying that stuff. We just did the first 2 trials already. It's hard to say. It's hard to see because neither of the first 2 trials have images. The word is frauding. There you go. That's the search term. The sound of, I like that the music always lasts 1 second because we hit the cue for it stopping so quickly. Those songs often. Oh god. Those songs often play for 10 minutes because we're having a conversation or something in the recording.
The song that played during our
we can do both.
Huh?
That was the scene where Amicus is like, we can do both.
Oh yeah.
Scheming. We're gonna go get Alex on the island.
Hey.
I appreciate how incredibly fast this fast forward is. Alright, this is an important moment. I have to save here now. Page 4.
He does his research.
I've just played the game before.
Yeah, research.
Okay, so this is the choice of whether or not we submit ourselves to the benevolent will of the parents, which is it's always questionable when someone self-declares like that, but okay. So we're gonna say no. I gasp and pull back, head reeling. I feel soft but strong paws grip me around the shoulders.
Are you alright?
I look around, wide-eyed, feeling almost sick of the weird feeling of the control in my brain suddenly leaves. I don't know what to say, and Virginia glances back at the sphere.
Might not be suited to a simian brain. Calm?
Yeah, I don't think anything's changed yet.
Yeah.
But I know where. You fucked my life. And they try to accost him to make him not an emperor.
My boyfriend.
And then there's the poisoning. It's so fast. Then we try to go, we gotta beat up the cat. Beat up the cat. Beat up the cat with the baseball bat. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Fuck. Don't look at the screen right now.
Oh. I'm closing my eyes, everyone.
I'm not looking at these. I don't want to read these parts. This suck. I don't like these ones.
Can I... Wait. Tell me when I can look again.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
This is the fucked up line from the flash forward, but this is when it's happening for real. And we're at the scene. I'm here. No, speak to me. I'm staying with you. I drift through the blackness, feeling a sense of peace like I've never known before. Even though the space is empty, I feel it crowded with others. So many others. Or is it one other? I sense so many different minds and thoughts melded together as one. Hello? Oh, it's you.
We must apologize for what has happened to you. It was not our intention for it to end this way. While not ideal, you have still moved the work of Mira forward. Though we intended for you to complete it, this can be done at a later stage by a latter sapient. Thank you, Marco, for doing your part for humankind, for wolves, for the Galaxias as a whole. Now go. Be at peace. Be one with the amalgamation of intelligence from whence you came. Thank you.
I begin to dissolve. I'm nowhere and everywhere. I'm never and always.
Alpha and Omega,
I'm
the
nothing.
beginning and the end.
And everything. All at once.
Oh, God.
The end. Marco dies and never comes back.
Well.
So that's what happens if you don't submit yourself to the benevolent will of the parents. They still have you played the entire through line of the most devastating scene of the entire game, and then it ends with you actually dying forever.
And I like how they're like, thanks for your contribution, bud. Here's a pat on the back. Like, you get to go be nothing now. Goodbye.
Just imagine that being how that scene resolves. The fucking... it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up if that's how the scene ends. And then you're just out of the game. By the way, Marco died at the end.
Do you think that some people just think that's the only ending you can get?
I don't know.
Do you think somebody played this and just was like, oh, well, the game's over, I guess. Okay,
maybe.
Bye.
I mean, inevitably, yes, because that's just what happens. Like,
yeah, there's always at least one person.
Even though Nier famously had several endings and it ends unsatisfyingly because you're supposed to play it again and all that, Nier Automata literally just, because it was published by Square Enix and whatnot, they kind of unconfidently were just like, you beat the game the first time and the game's just like, I'm just gonna explain the whole conceit to you. You're supposed to play it more than once. Like, there's just a slide that explains to you to play the game again. It's like, alright, kind of defeats the purpose of the whole, like, roll credits ending and everything where you play it again for more story.
That kind of would make me mad. I'd be like, but I beat it already. What if I don't want to play it again?
But if you're some poor dude that didn't have, like, context for this game and have never played a visual novel before, you might not know that. It's not like it says bad end.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it doesn't give you like a... It doesn't say anything.
Kills
to
you. So anyway, back to the we have submitted ourselves to the benevolent will of the parents, but
We have said the other things.
we
we've
have
already
also said all of the negative things instead of all the positive things. We are in the cynic route, I guess. I'm gonna call it that.
in the Stephanie route.
The Stephanie route.
I wouldn't say
Even though you made the original choices.
Well, yeah, because I'm like immersing myself.
Shit's fucked, shit's fucked, shit's fucked, shit's fucked, shit's fucked.
Look at our weird little foot.
It's so much text. Where are we? So I want to go to... Thinking of exactly where to stop, and I have to tell where we are along the way a little bit. Because visually, this part of the game's really indistinct. It's all the familiar sights, and a lot of Amicus in his room. Lover's Day, okay. We still have to do Lover's Day.
I love all the sun sounds.
So that was the encounter with the other. And this is the woman!
Where's the ending where she
and then
used
it's
to
the
let us
proposal!
eat our
and then he's
Napolitan
naked now
pizza?
and we're gonna top her bottom. Very much want to. No, apply the lubrication! I guess I chose to top him.
Look at my cheeks. Look at my cheeks.
Because a cynic would top him.
A cynic would top him.
Why is none of this set to skip? This is all treated like it's... Get to the part where the story unbranched. There we go, skips back. That's a branch that was all considered new by it. Last encounter with him.
Oh.
Here we are, okay. Ah! No, don't look at it.
Oh no!
God damn it. Why are these controls so hard? Why do they make the controls so hard? Alright.
I didn't see nothing.
It's fine.
Would you like to glance through the eyes of the parents to see what lies ahead?
What? Something trembles under my feet. I sense something else. He does too. So it's right when he offers the choice to see the whole future. And we're having a branch here. I move my mind toward the presence. Towards her.
This way.
No. He watches me, and for the first time I sense something from the dragon that almost feels like worry.
Don't be distracted by rogue entities. This is dangerous.
What does that mean? But it doesn't matter, because I keep moving anyway. I keep moving away. This presence, I know her. She tried to contact me in the amalgamation. She refused to mingle. She stayed separate. And now I can see her. She appears before me. Surprise bonus female character at the last second of the game. She bows to me.
Mira, right?
Yeah.
Hello, my replacement. There is much to say.
I know her. Already I know who this is. Mira.
Ah, so you do possess a notable level of intelligence.
I'm confused, unsure as to what's happening, why it's happening. I swallow, or at least I do mentally. I still feel out of body, anchored to nothing. I'm just an observer from an indefinite point in space. You say I'm a replacement?
My replacement, yes. Though I suppose that label isn't entirely accurate. You're more of a successor.
My concentration on summoning myself as a body begins to yield some results, as I see the outlines of my torso and legs below me.
Though, my inability to complete the request has thrust some of those duties upon you. So yes, a successor, but also a replacement.
She got the bad end.
She did get the bad end.
That was a long time ago. Wasn't Mira hundreds of years ago? The Drusus and Mira story, which, funnily enough, I found that, like, Build 15 has the Drusus and Mira poster that's The same poster you wrote?
It's the Gustav Klimt's The Kiss.
That very specific reference.
So she got the bad ending because she did the don't sacrifice the world for me, shoved away her lover, like, do the right thing. Don't sacrifice the world for me, you idiot.
Maybe.
I mean, so...
She also has a little arrow.
She was supposed to motivate her lover through her potential death as we were supposed... I don't know.
It probably is what happened.
Yeah. Because we...
it's recontextualized with us now having the knowledge of how the bad end works, which is that you can, if you're a good obedient person, then you come back to life with a weird robot neck, and then you could be used to manipulate Drusus. But she rejected that.
She rejected the whole idea, so she's just permadeath.
Yeah, so that's the real reason she died, not the one the wolves explain in the story.
So we've learned.
So the parents do this repeatedly. They specifically kill off lovers to use as a chip to control emperors.
Yes.
But
that means so our canon Marco, the one that we chose, is not. He doesn't have this context to be aware that if he had chosen incorrectly, he would have died, and that Mira is dead because she was offered the same decision and chose incorrectly.
This Marco has not experienced the bad end because that's a paradox.
The parents are way more devious. Although Marco has doubts, they're way more obviously devious.
It's distressing. And after Marco's sacrifice and revival, we were already watching the wolves rewrite and dramatize his death to be something fictional, just like they did with Mira, which is like, so no one knows really what happens with Mira, and we don't know and like no one will know what happened with Marco besides Amicus and Marco and Neferu and every character in this game basically that was there, which was everyone except Alexios, I think, was the only missing character, but the world doesn't know. Well, this is a fine pickle.
It is, yeah, quite a bit, isn't it?
I love how much of a mess this is. It's a nightmare. I finally materialized the majority of my body, solidifying its shape beneath my point of view. I lift my hands to my face, and though they look tangible, there's also a dreamlike quality to them, bending and moving in ways that don't seem real. Mira is quiet, and I realize my focus isn't fully dedicated to her, though it should be. I look up. Sorry. What was your assignment?
What do you fucking think, Marco?
She stares back at me for a while, brow furrowed, and I wonder if she's upset with me.
Shall we adopt Chemian etiquette and get to the point quickly? I have a feeling my time with you will not be long.
Sure.
Splendid. So Marco, do you trust the parents?
Huh? I hear her well enough, I just don't know how I should answer the question.
I said, do you trust the parents?
Yeah. Mostly. I say that because I'm pretty sure the parents are listening right now.
But they know if you're lying.
For the past several months, I've been trying to smother the questioning thoughts in my mind that I've had. The worry that I'm being kept from the full truth. That's mainly because I don't want to jeopardize Amicus's plans, his future goals. He knows much more about the parents than I do. And though he has his reservations after what happened to me, I think he trusts them. And because I trust Amicus, I guess I trust the parents as well.
Wrong.
Sort of.
You're not a very good liar, are you, Marco?
I'm not lying.
Do you know what my fate was, Marco?
I think back, trying to remember the full story. You committed suicide to force Drusus into a choice, right? The tigress continues to look at me with that piercing gaze. I start to become more uncomfortable. Listen, you had a lot to say, right? What is it?
Marco, what does it mean to be a sapient?
I sigh, starting to get annoyed with how little explanation I'm getting. I shouldn't be the one answering questions. I don't know, to be self-aware? Mira laughs, and there's an odd, growling quality to it.
If that were true, then my lover would not have been considered a sapient.
God damn.
Oh my gosh. Dis.
Jeez.
From beyond the grave.
Love her. I wonder if Drusus is here with her. I hope so. Because if I end up like her, I still want to be with Amicus. The tigress adjusts her sari, pushing it back slightly to reveal more of her striped face.
But that is certainly part of being sapient, though I suppose my question should be more broad. What does it mean to be alive?
I sigh, opening my mouth to tell her I don't know before Mira answers anyway.
Agency. The ability to make your own decisions.
The tigress becomes serious once again.
Consider that the parents claim to hold life above all else in the universe. With that in mind, does the concept of what it means to be alive merge with the goals of the parents? Does it merge with what they are doing to you?
Now I see where she's going with this. I don't have a choice. The tigress pauses, and I think I see her smirk a little.
No, you do not. Now they attempt to right this fallacy by re-establishing choice, by telling you that you do not have to follow their guidance. But in my experience, the alternative was a scenario which threatened my very life, a sapient life which they claim to hold dear.
I think of Amicus's choice, a choice which wasn't really a choice at all for the wolf.
How can they proclaim themselves benevolent if they threaten the life of the individuals they manipulate? How is that even possible when they use our very lives to manipulate the ones we love?
I grimace. It's almost like this tiger is reading my mind.
I could not stand for it, thus here I am.
They try not to interfere.
They say they do not want to interfere, yet they set plans into motion to take power from the Empire and govern the siblings directly.
I stare. How do you know this? The tiger glares.
I was privy to every one of their plans, even those 10,000 years into the future.
I try to comprehend that, but then shake my head. But isn't their goal not to interfere at all? They're just trying to set us on the right path. Taking full control would go against everything they say.
So they say, yet they are stepping in to directly control your every move, your thoughts. Soon it will be the entire Galaxius.
I shake my head again, but Mira goes on.
Did you ever wonder why the intel you gathered on Kato's sabotage of the Emperor's ship was never utilized, seemingly pressed into the back of the minds of all who knew it? Information that could have brought an end to the struggle in a much more peaceful process.
I narrow my gaze at the tiger, starting to feel uncomfortable.
Why did you hand the goblet to Cassius, despite knowing what would happen, or what would follow? Oops.
Now I start to really feel uneasy, looking carefully at the tigress. How do you know this? Are you watching me? Mira's image seems to quiver. Would you kindly?
I am always watching. I lurk outside your windows as you work. I sit in your closet listening to you breathe as you sleep. I creep up upon your bed, willing you to die.
Her voice takes on an odd tone, becoming muffled, staticky, like it's coming through a phone's speaker. Yet it grows louder. What? The back of my neck prickles, the hairs rising as Mira begins to disappear. The space around me pulses, then fades out slowly as well.
Do you want to know what death is like?
Mira's voice isn't her voice anymore. It's a cacophony of whispers and rustling, like a writhing pile of dead leaves.
I still taste the poison in my mouth, the agony in my body, the terror of dissolving into nothing.
The whispers move behind me, up my neck.
A nothingness that was simultaneously something, forced to be tormented in the hell of non-existence, of never-ending black.
Is it talking about the amalgamation? The voice chuckles, whipping up a vortex of dried leaves.
The amalgamation. Even you know how natural its existence is. A swirl of countless souls being harvested by the parents to be used.
I start to try and pull away from this thing, this creature that is no longer Mira.
You will experience it soon enough, the horror of it all.
Something begins to wrap around my neck. the pressure growing.
But don't worry, you won't be alone. You will suffer together with your wolf forever. Enough.
A strong, solid voice breaks through the smothering terror, and I cling to it immediately. As if being pulled from a deep pool of water, I emerge from the black, back into the dazzling glimmers of space. I gasp for breath, even though I have no lungs to gasp into. The monitor looms before me, exuding a stifled combination of frustration and concern.
Are you all right, Marco?
The fear I've had lingers, but I'm able to steady my nerves enough to talk. What the hell was that? The monitor stares at me for a while, thinking, contemplating something.
The other. I thought, as soon as I saw her, I was like, oh, I have a feeling about that.
I have so many conflicting ideas, because it's like, one, she puts to voice several of the concerns you should have about the misgivings you should have about the parents, and also if you're the kind of person thinking about that, the things that were like borderline plot hole things you might be considering about the behavior of characters and like why, like
I was
like how obvious the poison cup was and so on.
And the spaceship sabotage, it like never comes up.
Yeah, but like it all matches up with like the idea of like I said before, like the parents literally deflect your blow at the beginning of the game. Like they have some kind of more direct power than even they seem to act like they do most of the time. Because they act like they're just like this voice that whispers the right thing and puts you on the right path. But they very directly interfere multiple times. So suddenly you have this potential explanation for why he does what he does in that scene, which also adds like, that's why I said would you kindly, because I'm like, it adds this like little bit of the BioShock element of
the
like
lack of choice.
Yeah, like the idea of player agency being an actual narrative point and not just a thing you just have to sit through when your character doesn't do what they want or so on. You're like, well, what if there was a point behind it? But then this is all corrupted by the fact that the person saying everything you want, it's hard to say if it is Mira or not at all, but it's also the exact force that you're supposed to be worried about, apparently.
Well, that makes me think that if it is, well, I mean, obviously the parents could be lying about even that, but I was gonna say if it is the exact force that we're supposed to be worried about, or I mean, it being Mira makes me think that it is the other. I don't know. It's hard to.
It makes me wonder, and then I think about the fact that like the
because she represents a whole bunch of insecurities about the plan, so I don't think they would show you her. It doesn't do them any benefit to show you her specifically, because she is a mirror. Like that's like what I was trying to say like a long ass time ago, when there was the whole you heard like Marco dying, and I was like, you're supposed to be a martyr like Mira, like that's what it's supposed to be. Like she is the mirror. Mira is the mirror of you. So seeing her fundamentally fail and telling you that her fate is terrible as a result puts a lot of worry into Marco as to how this is going to go for him. So I don't think there's any benefit in them showing him Mira specifically.
There could be a scared straight element.
I don't think
this idea that
I feel like that would be the opposite.
Because this is the version of Marco that has been saying everything that the parents don't want to hear, but not the Marco that says the one specific thing they don't want to hear that leads to them killing you.
I know you're supposed to dislike the other because they're like, the parents tell you to dislike the other and that the other is bad.
Yeah.
But what Mira says would make me not like the parents.
I'm mixed because it is exactly what I want to hear, but we also know that the parents can, I mean, they can do a lot really, but they if you are accepting the idea that the entire vision they gave you might have not been a portal through the real timeline, but just like a very strong movie, essentially, like an illusion and a feeling that they can instill on you, because, you know, brains are chemicals and whatnot. Then at that point, there's the idea that, like, they could literally just conjure these kinds of images and like invent these kinds of things potentially. And if you're going in that idea, then it's like they might specifically conjure up Mira to give voice to all of your concerns, but then reveal that to be the devil, essentially. It's like, and like, here's the path that you're going down leads to suffering.
Like, oh, like this person is trying to scare you into straying from the path that we have set for you, child. This is the snake that whispers to you.
To an extent, yeah, because like
it is here to sow doubt in you that we are doing the right thing.
Because for me, her about face is so, like, it's so quick and so strong and seemingly unnecessary, to the point of like, what is she accomplishing from her perspective by like giving any advice or feedback and then talking like, oh, our time is short and whatnot, but then just being like, I'm just gonna scare you now and say and threaten you and say that you're gonna die screaming and then you're gonna suffer with your wolf. And it's like, that's a weird thing to do unless you're specifically being like, if you're specifically put here to scare me off the path of doubting the parents.
I suppose so. I don't know. It's one of those things where I've seen in a lot of media, like, I don't know, like the ghosts also work in mysterious ways, where like there is a part of them that remembers who they are, but there's also a part of them that like is some weird husk of themselves and doesn't say anything that matters. I don't know. I feel like I've seen representations of like ghosts and spirits where it's like it's like your dead grandmother, and maybe she says some things that are really poignant to you, but then her head rolls backwards and her eyes fall out. Like, it's like, why does that benefit anyone? But it happens. It's like,
I very much wonder if Mira is Mira in this scene from either perspective.
It really is a toss-up, honestly.
Yeah. I'd already suspected that, but to have it confirmed makes my heart sink. I was told it wasn't here yet.
Where you are now is not where you used to be.
But why was it Mira?
Yeah, why would it? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It can take any forms its host can imagine, speak any words its host might imagine. Like
the exact things you're worried about. The dragon looks pointedly at me here. Host? I sense something like a sigh from the reptile.
You were the host. It was simply using your doubts against you. Yeah, that does seem like a scarecrow.
I think. Trying to remember everything Mira, the other, had said. Something still doesn't feel right. She definitely didn't feel like something I could just think up. And the things she was saying, like about the amalgamation, I'd never thought of those things before.
Many thoughts are subconscious.
It's very intrusive talking to someone who can hear you.
Yeah, I hate this.
It's really unnerving and makes the whole thing less trustworthy feeling, because there's an inherent asymmetry of power in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Mira is still out there with the other.
Like, maybe Mira was just reaching through the amalgamation as like a voice in a cluster, but in reality, like the end was just their whole formed together. Like,
amalgamation's a horrible word to have as your future. That's not what you want to hear. Like, what is this, society?
It's like a cluster of bodies.
Join the flesh pile.
Maybe she spoke out to you in lucidity, but in reality, like she is still connected to like a whole cluster of souls that are just writhing and angry that you're alive. Like, it could be like, I don't know, some weird thing like that. The true Mira is in the amalgamation, and though she may have come up short in her duties, she still rests happily with Drusus.
Yet I can't help but feel that must have been part of Mira, a mixture of doubts between me and her. Can the other store bits of memory of people that it's come into contact with?
Do not worry yourself over things that do not currently matter. What matters now is your doubts.
Despite what I've just been through, I feel a flare of irritation at the dragon's nonchalant attitude. Even if that was the other that brought it out of me, at least now my worries are out in the open. Well, you heard my doubts. What do you have to say about them? The monitor bows his head slowly, closing his eyes.
It is worrying.
Is it? Well, now you know how I've felt the past year. I'm defiant, even though I'm scared. I might have just screwed up Amicus's destiny if they know what I think now.
We've always known. We had simply hoped that those feelings would fade with time. So you guys don't know everything.
By just not saying anything on your end, I have no idea what's going on.
We mustn't interfere.
I don't care. If you don't start telling me what I'm doing and why, then I'm going to follow Mira. You care about choice? I'm making my choice now. Either you tell me or I walk out. I'm bluffing, but only partly. There's still a small bit of me that is determined to follow through on that, and I think the monitor senses it too. I'm just done. Again, that big, heaving sigh.
Providing you with knowledge ahead of schedule makes our ability to see blurry.
I shrug. Better than me just leaving, right? Now tell me about your future plans, the amalgamation, why your moral compass is so fucked up. A typical pause.
I'm sorry, but we cannot reveal everything to you. At least not yet. But we can at least tell you that the plan we have set forth for you.
I'm relieved, and a little surprised that I got the parents to do something that I want for a change.
Do not get used to it. Trust me, they do not do this often.
Trust me is a bad sentence it's a phrase to use on me. I shrug, trying not to feel too smug that I just figured out that I hold a good deal of power myself. The parents struggle between wanting to appear benevolent while also wanting to force their subjects into specific roles, leaves them in a bit of a disadvantage with me. The monitor seems to choose not to comment on that thought process. I focus back on him. So, what is it that I'm doing and why? That's a very different scene. And as a reminder, the vision of the future didn't happen.
Yeah, we didn't get the beautiful...
There is no happy future with Amicus in this scene.
Which changes the context completely when later on Amicus talks about him seeing the future.
Yeah, I'm curious exactly how that plays out. I don't remember. My vision's blurry. For the first time I feel somewhat confident. Having the entire Earth plan laid out before me has made everything make so much more sense. Still, the experience I had with the other, it's left me paranoid and worried. I refuse to believe that everything that came out of its mouth was all from my own mind. There was something more, things that I could only imagine Mira had said herself. Maybe it wasn't to me at that moment, maybe it was simply words that she had said in the past, brought to the present by the other. Either way, I'm going along with the plan, but knowing what I'm doing and why has made me feel much more in control. I can even reject certain tasks that they might give me in advance, force them to come up with another way. This new dynamic feels closer to true agency. I was able to tell that the monitor, and thus the parents, were unhappy about it. Still, I can't help but feel that this newfound sense of power on my end is going to make my life a lot easier, even if it makes theirs harder. I get up slowly, a smile on my face, feeling good for once. I make my way to the door, pressing the panel. And then
So basically,
the footsteps, and then they encounter those.
You traded like kind of a fluffy, pretty thought of the future, for like actual coherent knowledge on what's going to happen to you on Earth.
Yeah.
So you're paranoid now. Like I think you're like emotionally hit with this, and so you're in a worse headspace in a way, but you're in a better headspace in the sense that you are actually know what's going to happen to you when you get back to Earth, supposedly.
My problem is that my entire way of thinking about all this stuff is like an infinite recursive, like reverse psychology, like that loop, like the infinite bluff of like if he's doing that, then like at a card game, just the infinite back and forth of trying to overthink rock paper scissors, basically. So I'm like, what if this is just how they more accurately pacify us?
I was gonna say that is.
What if this
true
entire new approach, and thus to us, first of all, we still don't know if the story they gave us, like the plan they gave us, is any more true than the future they tell us in the other timeline.
Yeah,
and it could just be everything they need to tell us to make us act the way they need us to throughout the next 8 years, and all the times that we might like specifically think we're acting against them and having a power move might be all like pre-planned moves, like the equivalent of like when Trey Parker and Matt Stone, like they knew that the Team America was going to get an adult rating, and so what they did is they made a way worse version of it and they submitted that, and then that got an adult rating, and then they toned it down from there to what they originally wanted, and that got an R rating. Like that kind of plan. Like, what if they give us a worse version of the plan, knowing which ones we'll reject and which ones we'll act out against, because that's what they actually want us to do.
That actually is like a great strategy, because you can fundamentally prove that you get what you want more if the other person feels like you've made a compromise with them. Like they have won by getting you to settle. But in reality, like, you never actually planned to settle, so you basically set up like stakes that were way higher. It's a
second ending that was just that feels specifically designed to satisfy the people that were cynical about the story up to that point. But that's just as bad. Oh, just curious as you might feel at this moment. I must say, you seem less stressed than you had been last night. I go back to looking out the window, getting a last look at Adastra, along with the smaller Torque and the much larger Anchorus. I guess things just became clearer, kind of like you said they would. Amicus grins, though I'm pretty sure he doesn't know what I'm talking about. There's a difference. And then there's, the usual stuff. Then you know there is much ahead of us together. I nod, the other's statement of suffering with Amicus forever echoing through my head as I watch Adastra get smaller and smaller. Then, it's gone. What a fucking difference. The same interaction from Amicus's perspective.
But
reinforcing the idea I had before of like, what if we saw completely different things and had the same, but are having this interaction anyway? And it's like, here's us from our perspective having a completely different scene, but the interaction's still the same.
Wait, like Amicus, I feel like it's confusing because like Marco's like, because Amicus is like, oh, so you know what's gonna be like for us in the future, and you're like, in your head you're like, yeah, fucking horrible. And Amicus is just standing there smiling, and you guys just like don't talk about that. I feel like that's strange. Like, do you think that Amicus also saw horrible things? Are you just like, you don't? He doesn't elaborate that he saw anything at all at this point. Like, you don't have any reason to believe he saw anything, or like. You think you would just be questioning his reaction because he seems so pleased if you thought you saw the same thing. And if you didn't see the same thing, then wouldn't you ask him what he saw? I'm just saying that seems like a stilted interaction.
They are kind of trapped in the prison of supposedly not being supposed to tell anyone what they saw, even each other.
Yeah, but you think you'd just be like, why are you so happy? What did you see?
So with a deep breath, I pocket my alien gadget, preparing myself to begin this journey. I still don't trust the parents. Not at all, but knowing the ultimate goal helps me stay on this path that they have me on. Unify Europe, Africa, Asia, and the Americas. Fuck you, Australia. Keep the powers in Washington, Beijing, and Moscow in the dark until they fall in line. Then we all unify as equals. That's it. That's how you bring Earth together as one. Easy. I shake my head. I'm scared, but also relieved that things are moving so quickly. I'm also relieved that this will keep my mind off the separation I just experienced. And then the full agony and the deep breath, and then we were young and unafraid and ready to start.
So we get way more information on what the actual plan is.
Yeah, we get some hints of stuff, and those are the differences that I could think to look for. Because once again, the skip feature doesn't show me what text is old or new because of a iffy element of what I should have done a long time ago, like much earlier in the playthroughs, I should have deleted our save from the entire computer and then recreated where we were at that point in the story manually to get the skip feature to work again.
Much work, though.
It's a pain in the ass, but yeah, the once you've played the game before, the skip feature doesn't stop anymore, and I was like, oh fuck. But that's the somewhat more distressing ending.
Okay, but the one thing is like, I thought it was implied that we were going to unite Earth with Adastra, or with the rest of the other planets. I thought that like...
But first we have to unite Earth.
Yeah, they did. So there was like no mention of us uniting with the rest of the Galaxias. There's only mention of us unifying in general. The whole other part is left out. Which is... It's just that's odd to me.
Look at his little glasses. Where do you think they attach?
He's like one of those anime characters that just has the little nose holder.
He has a floating glasses on his snout.
Yeah, he just has the one that grips his nose really tight.
No things. It's just cropped just at the right spot where you can't tell.
I like how they just show his side nip.
Well, I mean, that's just a universal thing. He's not, unless you work at a restaurant, apparently your nips are out.
I do question, what is then the point of wearing a shirt? Like, I thought the whole point of a shirt just in general... Oh, I mean, yeah, obviously this shirt's not for warmth and stuff.
Planet. It's like a status thing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, a status thing, sure.
If he's working with Amicus, he's definitely a noble of some sort, too.
Check out my handsome nipples.
His parents probably have, like, opinions about triumvirates, or are. Actually, his parents probably are triumvirates.
I have high-ranking nipples.
So much fucking gold in this society.
I love it.
Just a lot. The, what is it? There was the there's a stupid meme, but there's a thing about like the which nipple is released, and it's like Amicus has both nipples out because he has chaotic energy, but all the people with their right nipples out are good, and all the people with their left nipples out are bad. And it's like it might have been that Kato and Alex both have their left nipples out or something, or I guess it's our left, their right or something. It was just a goofy dumb thing.
It's like what ear you have pierced. It was like, it means so much, guys.
Which nipples are villains?
I'm just sad that poor fucking Virginia can't show her nipples. What's up with this? What's up with this society, man? What's up with the society that we live in now? Nipples for everyone.
All right, everybody. Well, this has been Adastra. There are lots of thoughts to have. Enjoy yelling about them. Only talk about this game in the comments. I will tell you here, there is a sequel and I guess a midquel of this game that are both work in progress. Interia, was it Chemia is the sequel where you play as this guy, I think. I'm still not entirely 100% sure about that, but he's in it at least. I think you play as him. And in Chemia is the sequel, so there's no Marco there. You see Amicus with no Marco, and he's dealing with, I assume, Chemia, and I assume that Nefaru is important in the story. And I think what I've heard is that Howley hit writer's block with that, and so he started working on what is called sometimes a relatively fan-servicey midquel, which is called Interia. And that's during the vacation they went on, that trip around the moon where they see a bunch of different parts of Adastra. Mm-hmm. So that, I guess, Marco is there, and so it's more Marco and Amicus after the Kato stuff's resolved, but before they have to say goodbye. So it's like they get to extend that period longer and longer. That like, honeymoon.
It's like the shoujo anime scene. It's like the part where they go on the school trip, or the part where they do the beach trip.
It's just hours and hours of content of post engagement Amicus and Marco. But I don't know anything about those games really, and I don't plan on playing them because they are both work in progress, and I just want to play these games as they're done. And so I figured we'd play Echo next because it was done. I actually don't know if it was done before Adastra or not. It was worked on in parallel because my understanding is that Howley wrote a few of the character routes in that game, and then got so fucked up emotionally from writing one of them that he wrote Adastra as like a break from that, which is just funny because Adastra is horrifyingly emotional to go through. I look forward. I think it makes me happy because I love me some really awful dark stuff. That game literally got finished by somebody else, which from what I hear did a great job. But
I love media that breaks their own creators.
So that's that situation. So Echo is out and Adastra is out. Echo has both a sequel and a prequel that are both work in progress. So they have like multiple branching stories off of both of their finished properties. Because Echo has Arches as a sequel and The Smoke Room as a prequel, which has the big Barra art style. All 3 Echo games have a different art style, but all 3 Adastra games are all drawn by Haps, so they're really consistent. But my last shout out is just that there's a Patreon for this company. So this was a free game, and also a Let's Play that you watched for free. They don't make money off of you. I make money, but they don't make money off of you watching them play. If you really, really like this story and so on, then you can support the creators on Patreon, which is the entire profit model, because none of their games cost money. They're just all free.
I think for the 40 hour. What episode is this?
It's probably close to 40 hours.
Yeah, for the 40 hours of entertainment,
they're not hour-long episodes,
is worth something in the tip jar, you know.
They're up there, yeah. So if you want to send them money that way, I'll put their Patreon in the description. Hopefully, yell at me if I didn't, and I'll check. But also, you can look it up easily.
Or just yell at Keith anyway, because he's Keith.
I mean, this playthrough has the least yelling, probably because I can't fuck up anything. That's a lot of forearm, by the way.
Do you expect anything,
a superhero
less?
Forearm.
Do you expect anything less?
But what is it? I think the main. I don't pay too close attention because I don't want spoilers or work in progress stuff. But the main perk of the Patreon is that I think you might get each build first compared to the public. I think the Patreon might be one build ahead. Or so essentially like one chapter ahead of the public release, so you can get more of the game sooner. I think that's at least a common model for these kinds of Patreon visual novels. But
and you also get to feed people who make art.
Yeah, but I'm gonna wait for it to be done. So that's it. We'll see more of these games. I don't know, next year, the year after, whenever they get done. It takes a long time. Echo took 7 years to make. 7 years.
That's almost as long as the 8 years that Amicus and Marco are going to be apart.
I think about that. I think about the fact that with how long it'll take to finish Antaria and Chemia, if there is a game where they reunite after that potentially, I'm like, will it be 8 years from now in real life? I think about when you make a game like Echo for 7 years, you're a different person at the end than you were when you started making the game.
I'm 28, so 20-year-old me and 28-year-old me are definitely different individuals.
Yeah. Yes. That's the thread of the 8-year thing. But anyway, we're out of time. Thanks for watching like always, guys. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for having me. I had a fun time. Bye. I don't know how to end this. It's been so long.